Hello there, Vishesh. I forgot how to actually make a thing. I forgot how to make a panel using this. I have no idea what I'm doing. How the fuck do I... what am I doing? Oh, what? Wait, can I just... Yes! Okay, I don't have a border or anything for chat at the moment, but that's the best I can do because I can't do anything. You nervous? Hell no! I completely forgot how to actually put a fucking colour thing on so that chat is easier to read, I guess. I completely forgot, that's why. Okay, well, welcome everyone. I literally only just mocked this, like, page up, like, last minute, because I completely forgot that I didn't make one for... Okay. Is chat really that bad? Let me change a few of the things then. Okay, let me move that there, and then I can put... Can I change it both together? Oh, no I can't, okay. I'll do that, and then... I'll do that. Don't know if that works, but there you go. Alright. So, we are going to be reading the novel Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, or Modazushi. This is volume 1. I have read a little bit of it, but I'm okay to restart it. I'm also gonna mute this as well because I don't need that on at the moment. So yeah, the novel, like, cover is on the screen. This is a BL, if anyone doesn't know. This is, a novel series created by Moshang Tongshi, or that's how I think that is said. The author has also made things for Heaven Official's Blessing, Scum Villain, Self-Saving System, and I think Husky and his White Cat Shizoon. I need to get onto those because I really want to watch them and read the novels and stuff. But today we're reading novel 1. There I think is 8? Oh no, I think that's Heaven Official's Blessing. I think Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation has 5 novels. I've got all 5, and I think I've got I have 3 of the comic books as well, which is basically the manhwa. I think there's another 2 comic manhwas that I have not got yet. but I will be getting those because I really want them. And I'm still collecting Heaven Official's Blessings novels as well, and I need to restart looking at the manhwa for that as well. I've obviously watched both Modazushi and Heaven Official's Blessing Donghua, which is the Chinese anime, and they're absolutely amazing. I do recommend it. Even if you're not into BL stuff, it's funny and really good storylines. There is no kissing involved, so there's not like any kind of sexual things in the actual animes. So even if you're not into BL stuff, there's not really much BL stuff in it. It's just like a storyline between like two guys and stuff. But I would definitely recommend giving them a watch. I don't know where you can watch Modazushi, because I'll watch it on a different website. And I'm pretty sure the Japanese version of Heaven Official's Blessing is on Netflix anyway. But obviously you can try and look up the English version of it as well, because the English dub for Heaven Official's Blessing is a godsend, because Hua Chung and Xilian's voice, as well as Windmaster's voice, is literally the best thing in the world. And obviously John Woo and all that jazz. But let's not go into that. We're going into Modazushi. Are both of them on the cover dudes? Yes. The guy with the red and black, he is known as Wei Wuxian, or Wei Ying, or the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, or the Yiling Laozu. There are many different nicknames for every single fucking character, I swear to god. And then the one in blue and white, he is known as Lan Wanji, also known as Lan Chan. That's what Wei Wuxian calls him. He's also known as Han Gongjun, and something else I forgot. Lan Chan, Lan Wanji, Han Gongjun, and something else I forgot. But yeah, these are the two guys that are cough in love with each other at the end. Local BL library in your bedroom. Well, I need to get a bookshelf, because I'm collecting all these different books. I need a bookshelf because at the moment they're just scattered everywhere. So they're pretty. Hell yeah. So basically, I'm just going to read the scribe or whatever the fuck it is at the back of the book, just because it'll give you an insight to what the storyline is if you haven't known about Modazushi before. Okay, so Resurrection and Revenge. Wei Wuxian was once one of the most outstanding men of his generation, a talented and clever young cultivator who harnessed martial arts, knowledge, and spirituality into powerful abilities. But when the horrors of war led him to seek a new power through demonic cultivation, the world's respect for his skills turned to fear, and his eventual death was celebrated throughout the land. Years later, he awakens in the body of an aggrieved young man who sacrifices his soul so that Wei Wuxian can exact revenge on his behalf. Though granted a second life, Wei Wuxian is not free from his... I can't even speak. Wei Wuxian is not free from his first, nor the mysteries that appear before him now. Yet this time, he'll face it all with the righteous and esteemed Lan Wanji at his side, another powerful cultivator whose unwavering dedication and shared memories of their past will help shine a light on the dark truths that surround them. The novel series that inspired the live-action drama The Untamed. So there is a live-action show called The Untamed. It's basically the live-action of the manhwa as well as the novel and stuff. So if you guys want to watch the Chinese subtitled show on Netflix, you can go ahead and watch that. I forgot how many seasons there is, but it's a really good show. We also see like Wang Yibo as well, who plays Lan Wangji. I forgot who plays. I think it's Xiao Qian that plays Wei Wuxian in the live action. But yeah, so many adaptations. Yes, trust me, there are many. I mean, there's a live action. There's the anime. There's the comic, which is the manhwa. We have the novel. We have the audio dramas. Obviously, we have like the chibi versions and fan-made stuff and different types of artwork and all sorts of stuff for both Modazushi have an official's blessing and stuff like that. So it's a pretty big deal for those that are into BL stuff, and especially people that watch Chinese anime. But yeah, so that was the scribe. So yeah, basically there's this whole mystery that's going to appear in the actual novel, and the two main characters are Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. Best and accessible ways anime, alright. Well, I'm not quite sure because I watch all of my anime online on very weird websites. Which I obviously won't tell on stream. But yeah, I watch all my stuff online. I do watch some of them on Netflix, but obviously if you search around for different anime websites and stuff, you can have a little gander. Okay, the book is so nice. And the artwork in here is incredible. I love it. Oh, these two. Contents. Chapter 1 is Reincarnation. Chapter 2 is The Interactable. Chapter 3 is The Prideful. Chapter 4, The Elegant Flirt. Chapter 5, The Sunny Pair. Chapter 6, The Malevolent. Chapter 7, The Morning Dew. And the appendix is Character and Name Guide with the glossary. Well, you could show wish you could show the artwork too. I wish I could have like a hand cam set up, but until I get like a clamp thing going on my desk, I can't really do a hand cam. I would say that I would take a picture of it and put it up on my PC, but that would take so long, it would be just not even worth it. If at the end, if I finish like a chapter or something, I will stop it and then I will just take multiple different pictures of the artwork and stuff like that, and then I'll put it up at the end of the stream. But yeah, we are starting out on chapter 1, which is Reincarnation. Oh, I can't even see anything as well because it's friggin' dark in my room. I need to open my curtains because it's dark. Okay. I need to get comfy. I don't really do these types of things, so I apologize if it's weird. Okay. Rejoice! Wei Wuxian is dead. It hasn't been a day since the siege of the burial mounds, and the news had already flown across the entire cultivation world as if it had sprouted wings. The speed was only comparable to how fast the flames of war had spread back then, if not faster. Suddenly everyone, whether they were prominent clans or rogue cultivators, was discussing the operation of vanquishment that had been led by the 4 great clans and attended by hundreds of sects, both big and small. Fantastic, fantastic indeed! Who was the hero who killed the Yiling Patriarch? Who else could it be? Ain't it his Shidi? The little sect leader Jiang Qiang? The 4 major clans fronted the attack. The Zhang clan of Yanmeng, the Jin clan of Lanling, the Lang clan of Gosu, and the Ni clan of Qinghe, crushing family for the greater good. They destroyed Wei Wuxian's good old lair, the burial mounds. I must say, well done. Someone immediately clapped and exclaimed in agreement, That's great, well done. If it wasn't for the Zheng clan of Wei Ming, who took him in and raised him, then Wei Wuxian wouldn't have been a no-name street rat in the countryside, never mind becoming anything else. The former Zhang clan sex leader raised him like his own son, eh? But look at him, publicly defecting from the clan, making himself an enemy of the world. He's embarrassed the Zhang clan of Wei Ming utterly and almost doomed them to the same fate of extermination. What do you call a traitor? Him. I can't believe Zhang Cheng allowed that guy to run amok for so long. If it were me, I wouldn't have just stabbed him where he first I wouldn't have just stabbed him when he first defected. I would have cleaned house. He wouldn't even gotten the chance to do all those crazy things. What does a childhood friendship matter when facing people like him? That's not what I heard, though. Didn't Wei Ying's demonic cultivation backfire, causing him to be ripped apart and devoured by the ghosts under his command? I heard he was chewed to pieces while still alive. That's what you call karma. I've wanted to say this for a long time now, but those ghost generals he raised were like a pack of unleashed mad dogs, biting people everywhere. And in the end, he got bit to death himself. Well deserved. But be that as it may, if the little Zhang sector leader... No, I can't even speak anymore. Be that as it may, if the little Zhang sect leader hadn't been the one to plan this siege based on the Yiling Patriarch's weaknesses, then success would have been difficult to guarantee. Don't forget what Wei Wuxian had in his clutches, or how over 3,000 renowned cultivators were all completely annihilated that night. Wasn't it 5,000? 3,000? 5,000? They're all the same. 5,000 is more believable. He really is completely mad. He destroyed the Yin Tiger Tally before he died, so he gets at least some credit for that. Wei Wuxian's birth name is Wei Ying. See characters and name guide for more information. Okay. Now you're doing good? Oh, thank you. First time doing all this. If that evil thing was left to cause harm in the world, his sins would only deepen. The moment the Yin Tiger Tally was mentioned, there was suddenly silence, as if everyone was wary of something. A moment later, someone sighed. Man, speaking of that Wei Wuxian, he used to be the young master in an extremely affluent and distinguished cultivation sect back then. It wasn't like he had no accomplishments. He gained great success in his youth. How glorious and unbridled he was. How did he end up on this path? Like you guys fucking know. You don't know shit. Never mind. The subject changed, and voices were raised again in heated discussion. It's obvious from this case that the path of cultivation must always follow the righteous way. The demonic path is only glorious for the moment. You think it looks so glamorous? Look where that got him. Death without a corpse, a voice replied forcefully. It's not all because of the cultivation path. At the end of the day, it's still because Wei Wuxian was someone of bad character. He roused the wrath of the heavens and the grudges of men. You know what they say. What goes around comes around. The heavens are watching. After Wei Wuxian's death, the judgment of his character was no longer refutable. The discussions were mostly the same, and any small voice of dissent was immediately squashed. However, Gloom still firmly enveloped everyone's minds. Although the Yiling patriarch Wei Wuxian had died at the burial mounds, the remnants of his soul couldn't be summoned. Perhaps his soul had also been ripped apart, devoured by the millions of ghosts, or perhaps it had escaped. Wasn't a side commentary. I try. The former would naturally be a joyous occasion for the entire world. However, the Yiling patriarch had the ability to topple the earth and move mountains and seas. At least that was what the legends said. It would be no great task for him to resist soul summoning if he desired it. If his spirit returned to the future, if it took over a body and was reincarnated, then the cultivation world, the entire mortal world, in fact, would be cursed to face even greater vengeance, sinking into an endless storm of darkness and blood. And so, when the 120 stone beasts required to seal a mountain were set down at the peak of the burial mounds, and every major clan began conducting frequent soul-summoning rituals, they also strictly monitored for cases of possession, sought far and wide for abnormal occurrences, and heightened their security to the max. In the first year, all was peaceful. In the second year, all was peaceful. In the third year, all was peaceful. In the 13th year, all was still peaceful. Thus more and more people finally became to believe that perhaps Wei Wuxian had not been that amazing after all. Maybe he really had perished. Even though he had once turned the world upside down, there had at least come a day when he was the one overturned. No one could be worshipped on the divine altar forever. Legends were merely legends. I think this is chapter 2 now, I think. Is this chapter 2? I believe this is chapter 2, which is weird because I thought this would last a little bit longer. Is this chapter 2? The interrupt. Yeah, this is chapter 2. Holy crap. It does get longer and longer. I mean, it's like, I think 352 pages. I think we're on page 13, I think. So yeah, basically, chapter 1 basically just allowed us to let us know that Wei Wuxian was known as the Yiling Patriarch on the demonic path, and his brother Jiang Cheng was forced to get all of the different sectors of cultivators to accompany him in trying to destroy Wei Wuxian and his demonic path and all his general ghosts and stuff. And Jiang Cheng, wink wink, killed him. And 13 years later, since he died, he, cough cough, comes back to life. But we'll see that in chapter 2. Easing us into the BL. I think the major difference between novels and obviously the anime and live actions is that there are the kissing scenes, the sex scenes, and all of that good stuff. So we're gonna see and hear every single thing. But the chapter that I can't wait for, which I think is in the last book, I believe, is called the Incense Burner chapter, or chapters. That is got a lot of juicy stuff. But most of the juicy stuff goes like almost to the end of the series. So probably like not until like book 3, 4, maybe even 5. Well, I know 5, yeah. But I think it's book 4 and 5, I believe, that has those, because it changes Wei Wuxian's mindset of Lan Chen. And he basically falls for him, and he always thinks that Lan Chan doesn't like him like that, and he will reject him and stuff like that. But in either book 4 or 5, he does reciprocate his feelings, and the pap begins. And we'll continue to fucking do it. Oh god. Yeah, juicy, yeah. Oh, good heavens. Okay. Chapter 2. The Intractable. Wei Wuxian had only just opened his eyes when someone kicked him. A voice thundered in his ears. "Playing dead?" He almost coughed up blood from the kick. His head hit the ground, and with his face turned up, he thought hazily, "You've got nerve, daring to kick me, the patriarch." Wei Wuxian had already lost count of the number of years it had been he last heard a live person speak, never mind such awful caterwauling? I don't know what that fucking means. He was dizzy, and the cracked voice of a young man was rattling between his ears. "Think for a moment whose land you're living on, whose rice you're eating, and whose money you're spending. So what if I took a few things of yours? They should have been mine in the first place." Soon after, there was the clamouring noise of chests and cabinets alike being ransacked. It was a good moment before Wei Wuxian's eyes could focus. A dim ceiling came into view, as did an unfortunate-looking face with a greedy glare. That face was spraying spittle all over him. "And you dare go tattle on me? You think I'm actually afraid of you tattling? Do you actually think anyone in this world would take your side?" 2 large men who looked like servants came over. "Young master, everything's smashed." "So fast?" the quaking youth questioned. "There wasn't much stuff in this broken shack anyway," the servant replied. The quaking youth was extremely pleased. He turned to Wei Wuxian, pointing so hard at the man that he was practically jabbing his finger up his nose and into his brain. What the hell? This is fucking hilarious. "Go and tell on me, I dare you. Who are you playing dead for? As if anyone would actually give a crap about all this junk and waste paper. I've smashed everything. Let's see what else you've got to go tattle on me with. Think you're all that just because you went to a cultivation sect for a few years? Well, didn't you get kicked out like a stray dog anyway?" Presently half dead, Wei Wuxian thought to himself, "It's not pretend. I've actually been dead for many years." Who was this? Where was this? When had he ever done something like forcibly possess the body of another? After having kicked the man, ransacked the house, and spent all his temper, the quaking youth strutted out the door along with his 2 servants, slamming the door behind him. He ordered in a loud voice, "Keep proper watch. Don't let him come out to embarrass people." The servants outside the door all heeded. Once the man had gone, silence settled both inside and out of the house. Wei Wuxian wanted to sit up, but his limbs would not obey him. So he lay down and flipped over. His head continued to spin as he looked at his strange surroundings and the mess on the floor. Next to him was a copper mirror that had been tossed onto the ground, and Wei Wuxian snatched it up. A dreadfully pale face appeared in the mirror. 2 large blots of red were smeared unevenly on each cheek. If he were to stick out a long and vividly red tongue, then he'd be the very picture of a hanged ghost. Wei Wuxian tossed the mirror aside, a little disgusted. He wiped his face and found his hand smeared with white powder. Fortunately, it wasn't that this body had been born strange, but rather the penchant of the previous owner. A full-grown man with a face heavily caked in makeup and sloppily applied at that. This shocked some energy back into Wei Wuxian, who was finally able to sit up. Only then did he notice the circle of a spell array beneath him. The array was scarlet and crooked, seemingly hand-drawn using blood as the medium. It was still damp, emitting a metallic stench. There were warped and crazed spells drawn into the array that had been somewhat smudged by his body, but the remaining shapes and characters were gruesome in their evil intent. Wei Wuxian had been called by titles such as the Supreme Evil Lord, the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the Whatnot for years, so naturally he was very familiar with obviously devious arrays such as these. It wasn't that he had robbed anyone of their body. He had been offered one. The nature of this sacrificial ritual was a type of curse. The caster has to harm themselves with a weapon, making cuts on their body and using their own blood to draw the array and write the spells within. They would then sit in the center of the circle and give up their mortal body to evil spirits, using the annihilation of their soul. Annihilation, I can't even speak. Using the annihilation of their soul as the price to summon a nefarious, malicious ghost. This was all done in order to request the fulfillment of a wish. Thus, it was the opposite of possession. Oh god, that picture. Good lord. Hey, Miss Hayes, all this waste of... Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's very true. But that's not, like, a lot of blood that's been wasted. I mean, there was a war going on, so 3,000, 5,000 people died. All that blood wasted. Oh, good heavens. Oh. Oh, good heavens. Okay. While both were forbidden magics of ill repute, the difference was that the former was much less popular than the latter. After all, few wishes were so strongly desired as to make someone willingly sacrifice everything they had. This was why the technique had been nearly lost after centuries of disuse. The examples recorded in ancient books had only a handful of cases that were backed by reliable evidence, and every single one of them had been for revenge. Every malicious ghost summoned by the ritual had fulfilled the caster's wishes perfectly in cruel and bloody ways. Wei Wuxian refused to accept this. Since when was he categorized as a nefarious, malicious ghost? Why, while he'd had a fairly poor reputation and died an extremely tragic death, he didn't haunt the living, for one, and he'd never sought vengeance, for two. He could swear there was not a single wandering ghost in this world who was more decent and honest than he. But the tough thing was, the sacrificial ritual followed the will of the caster first and foremost. So it didn't matter how much he objected. He was already inside this body, which was a silent acknowledgement that both parties had formed a contract. He had to fulfill the wish of the caster, or the curse would rebound, destroying the possessor's primordial spirit and extinguishing it forever. Wei Wuxian yanked his sash loose and raised his arms to inspect them. Sure enough, both of his wrists had been slashed into with a sharp tool, leaving them covered in crisscrossing lacerations. The bleeding had already stopped, but Wei Wuxian knew these were not normal injuries. If he didn't fulfill the caster's wish, then these wounds would be unable to heal, and they would worsen the longer this dragged on. If the deadline for fulfillment was missed, then he who had accepted this vessel would be ripped apart in both body and soul alike. Of the blood buffet with twist. The ghost as nice as Casper. Oh god. I mean, he was literally dead for like 13 years, but he didn't haunt anyone, so he could be classed as a nice ghost like Casper. Even if he... Oh shit, my Wi-Fi. Is the stream okay? I don't really want to continue unless the stream's okay. Please let me know if it's okay. Because it just turned red and now it's green, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Stream's okay? Okay, cool. I will try my best to keep on top of the stream if it does try and go off. I don't know why it keeps doing it, because nothing is happening on my side. Other than the fact my PC is shit and so is my Wi-Fi. How many pages till the next chapter, I wonder? I forgot when the next chapter is. Anyway. He triple-checked that there was no mistake and cried, "This is ridiculous!" mentally 10 times before finally rising to his feet with difficulty, supporting himself against the wall. This house certainly was big, but it was empty and shabby. The bedding was emitting a sour smell. Who knew how many days had gone by since it was last changed? There was a bamboo basket for trash in the corner that had been kicked over earlier, and both trash and waste paper were strewn across the floor. Wei Wuxian noticed there seemed to be ink marks on the crumpled papers, so he picked one up in passing. He opened it to take a look, and sure enough, it was covered in words. He quickly went around to collect all the balls of paper. These were probably written by the owner of this body to vent his frustrations. Some of the sentences were incoherent and disordered, but the anxiety and nervousness were abundantly clear. Wei Wuxian patiently examined each sheet, and the more he looked, the more he felt something was amiss. Through some guesswork, he figured out a few things. First, the owner of this body was named Mo Xiangyu, and this place was called the Mo Estate. Mo Xiangyu's grandfather, on his mother's side, was from a rich family in this area. The family wasn't large, and the man was not fated for a son. After years of trying, he still only had 2 daughters. The name of the second daughter wasn't mentioned, but either way, the eldest daughter was born of the lawful wife. Thus, they were looking for a husband to marry into their family name. Although the second daughter was exceptional in appearance, she was born of a servant, which was why the Mo family had originally planned to marry her without giving much thought to the groom, who would have thought she was fated for a fortuitous encounter. Is IG like mine? What the fuck? It wasn't his fault. He had a lot of things happen in his life that made him so determined to sacrifice his own soul and life, his body, to bring Wei Wuxian and to let him possess his body or whatever. A lot happened, and I think we do get to like hear what it is. I mean, I know what it is because I already know, but yeah. We're just slowly trying to understand why Mo Shan-yu got to the point where he just wanted to kill himself and sacrifice himself so that Wei Wuxian can have vengeance for what happened to Mo Shan-yu. Okay. When she was 16, the head of a prominent clan was passing by and fell in love with her at first sight. The two made the Mo Manor the site of their rendezvous, and a year later the second daughter gave birth to a son. This was Mo Shan-yu. The inhabitants of Mo Estate would normally have held such an event in contempt, but the people in the time worshipped cultivators. In the eyes of the mundane folk, cultivation clans that pursued immortality were loved by the heavens, mysterious and noble. Furthermore, that prominent clan leader would financially support the new outer family branch of his every so often. So naturally, these circumstances were special. Not only did the Mo family consider this an honour, but others were extremely envious too. However, the good days did not last. That wandering clan leader was only hungry for the novelty of fresh meat, and he was over it after 2 years. Coming to visit less and less frequently, after Mo Shan-yu turned 4, the man never appeared again. In those passing years, the Mo estate's opinion changed again. The contempt and mockery returned, now with added disdain and pity. Second Lady Mo refused to accept this, believing firmly that the prominent clan leader would not turn a blind eye to his own son, and sure enough, when Mo Shan-yu turned 14, that clan leader sent over a grand party to officially take him back. Second Lady Mo's head was held high again. Although she could not go with them, this event swept away all the grievances she had. Feeling proud and elevated, she proclaimed proudly to everyone she saw that her son would finally become a leader of cultivation sects in the future, rise to the top and bring glory to the ancestors. Thus the people of the Mo estate changed their opinion for the 3rd time. However, Mo Shan-yu was driven out before he managed to cultivate, acclaim, and succeed his father, and driven out in the most shameful way. Mo Shan-yu was a cut sleeve, a male homosexual, and he was so audacious as to harass his fellow peers. Deadbeat dads. Yeah, basically. And Mo Shan-yu was ceased to, attend any kind of, family gatherings, or he wasn't going to be a righteous leader and cultivator to surpass his father just because he was gay. So, yeah. That's one of the reasons why he was shunned. And that's one of the reasons why he was treated very poorly and badly by a lot of different cultivators and even his own family and the estate and everything, is because he was gay and he was a cut sleeve. A cut sleeve basically means gay. That's what a cut sleeve means. So Mo Shan-yu is a cut sleeve, Wei Wuxian is a cut sleeve, even though he doesn't fucking know it, until he fucking has sex with Lan Wangji for the first time. And then, obviously, we already know that Lan Wangji is a cut sleeve as well. He's always been a cut sleeve. Can't gay people cultivate? They can cultivate. Yeah, they can cultivate. It's just, a choice that people think that it's, a sin or something. I mean, it's a sin in the Holy Bible as well, but he was just shunned out for being a cut sleeve because he kept on trying to flirt with all different kinds of people, I guess, and he was just shunned out so he couldn't surpass his father. So, yeah. Wait, actually. Okay, we have a lot of reading to do until chapter 3. So that's pretty good. I'm just gonna have a quick drink real quick, which is right next to me, so I'm just gonna put my bookmark in there real quick, and I'm gonna mute myself, because, yeah, 1 second. Alright. Boy, chapter 1, training wheels are off. Oh, that's not even the worst part yet. We still have, like, the tragic story on how Wei Wuxian died yet. We also have another tragic story about how one of his friends died and comes back, so we've got that. We've got tragic stories about someone's parents dying, and another parent's dying. We have the whole beef thing with Wei Wuxian and Zhang Cheng, yeah, still to happen. We've got Jinling, we'll be introduced to him at some point. Jinling's parents and all that tragic stuff come into play. We have someone called Jin Gongyao and his pity fucking thing that he keeps on fucking thinking. I don't like Jin Gongyao, so yeah. Just before I do anything, I hate Jin Gongyao and his actions. No matter if he thinks they were just, they were not. I don't care what he says. He's just a fucking psychopath, honestly. So what I understand by a cultivator is anyone who strives for self-improvement of an art or something. A cultivator is basically, is there a better example of an answer for what it is? Because I'm not very good at explaining what a cultivator is. If my... Oh no. A cultivator is a farming or gardening tool. No! No. Chinese, there we go. In these stories, protagonists are usually cultivators or practitioners who seek to become immortal beings called Xian. Along the way, they attain eternal life, supernatural powers, and incredible lengths of strength. Often rooted in Chinese mysticism, Buddhist Taoist concepts where the cultivator practices some mystical art to gain strength. In Western mythos, it's similar to a warrior mage, more akin to a mage, as cultivator often perform magical-like abilities. Example, flying, walking on water, moving through earth. A lot of the cultivators in Modazushi can basically fly on their swords because their swords have a spiritual essence to it, so that they can use their powers or like spiritual ability and energy to control the sword with a spiritual power, so they can fly on their swords. Thanks, Google. Farming tool. Yeah, I know. I was like reading, I was like, yeah, what? Farming tool? The Jun Club? What's the Jun Club? Superheroes in train. Basically. We'll talk about swords and stuff in the incense burner chapter. Cough cough. I don't want to spoil that yet. The guy we were hating, John something. What's his name now? Jin Gongyao. I don't like him. I don't know how to spell his name, but Jin Gongyao. Don't like him. So yeah, we have a hate club on Jin Gongyao. I forgot where we were up to. Right. Yeah, he was harassing fellow peers and stuff. That was great, lad. It's great. Oh shit. I can never get comfy on this chair. Fucking hell. Okay. With this scandal exposed, and the fact that he possessed only average talent and no real achievements in cultivation, the sect had no reason to keep him. Adding frost to snow, something had upset Mo Sanyu. When he returned home, it was as a madman. His mental state had been upended, as if he had only been scared silly. Having read to this point, Wei Wuxian's brow twitched a couple of times. The cut-sleeve matter aside, the man was a lunatic too. No wonder he had smeared enough powder on his face to look like a hanged ghost. No wonder no one thought it was strange that there was such a large bloody spell array on the ground. Mo Shanyu could possibly smear blood all over his house, from the floor tiles, up the walls, and the ceiling, and no one would think it weird, because everyone knew he was crazy. After Mo Shanyu's return to his old home, he was bombarded with ridicule. This time it seems the situation was unsalvageable. Unable to take this blow, Second Lady Mo was choked to death by her own unappeasable outrage. At this time, Mo Sanyu's grandfather had already passed, and the one managing the household was First Lady Mo. This Madame Mo had never been able to stand her little sister, and she scorned that sister's bastard son. She had a single son herself by the name of Mo Ziyuan, the one who had just ransacked Mo Senyu's house. When When Mo Shan Yu first left with such impressive fanfare, First Lady Mo had felt this now possessed something of a family tie to that prominent cultivation sect, and had hoped the cultivator envies would bring Mo Ziyuan along with them too. Of course, she had been rejected, or rather, ignored. Duh. This wasn't like selling cabbage in the markets. Buy one, get one free. I love that. So funny. Who knew where this family got its confidence? But they all possessed a bizarre idea. They firmly believed that Mo Ziyuan had potential, that he had talent, and that if he were the one that had gone with the cultivators, then he would have been recognized for his worth for sure. Unlike his failure of a cousin, although Mo Ziyuan had been young when Mo Shanyu left, he had been repeatedly indoctrinated to believe this nonsense without a single doubt. Thus he caused Mo Shanyu every other day to humiliate him, cursing him for having robbed him of his path to cultivation. Yet he remained enamored with the talismans, the pills, and the little spiritual devices that had been brought back from the cultivation sect, and would take them all for himself, breaking them as he willed. While Mo Shanyu was often in the throes of madness, he knew when he was being humiliated. He tried his best to endure it, time and time again. But Mo Ziyuan's behavior only worsened, practically emptying the entire house. At last, Mo Shanyu had enough. He finally stammered a complaint to his uncle and aunt, which was why Mo Ziyuan had come knocking today, looking for trouble. The words on the paper were tiny and cramped. Wei Wuxian's eyes were sore from reading all this, and he thought to himself, what kind of bellish life was he fucking living? No wonder Mo Shanyu had preferred to end it, offering his body to summon malicious ghosts to avenge himself. After his eyeballs started feeling better, it became his head's turn to ache. Technically, the caster of the array had to mentally recite their wish, as the evil spirit summoned. Wei Wuxian should have been able to hear the details of his request. However, this forbidden magic had only been secretly copied off a book with missing pages. It was incomplete, and Mo Shanyu had missed that step. Although Wei Wuxian could guess that he most likely sought vengeance against the Mo family, how exactly did he want it done? To what extent? Take back what was taken? Beat up the family? Or wipe them out entirely? It was most likely wiping out the family, eh? After all, anyone who had been in the cultivation world would know the words most often used to describe Wei Wuxian. God damn it. Treacherous, mad. Was there anyone who better fit the description of fiendish? Since the man had dared to summon him by name, his wish was definitely not something easily granted. Wei Wuxian said helplessly, "But you've got the wrong person." At first he wanted to wash his face and gaze into the reverence upon the dead countenance that had once belonged to its former owner. However, there was no water inside this house, not even drinking water. What's more, Wei Wuxian figured the only container around was for lavatory purposes and not for washing up. He tried pushing the door, but it was barred from the outside, probably to prevent him from running amok. There was not a single thing that could allow him the slightest bit of joy in being reincarnated. He might as well meditate for a while and get used to the new body.
An entire day passed this way. When he opened his eyes once more, there was sunlight seeping into the house through the cracks of the window. Although he could get up and walk, his head was still spinning, and it didn't appear to be getting better. Wei Wuxian was puzzled. This Mu Shan Yu's cultivated spiritual power is so minuscule, it might be completely overlooked. There's no reason why I can't manipulate this body, so why is it so difficult to use? The word in the Chinese novel. I'm just gonna grab some more water because for some reason my throat seems to want to hate me today. Okay. I don't think I've ever done anything like this, so speaking, like, for a long period of time, because I usually read in my head, so, like, talking about this novel aloud for, how long has it been now? An hour? Kind of gets my throat worked up. So if I do have to get water now and again, then that's fine, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Forgot about the messages that I have. I'll get better the more you speak. Okay, good. Oh, I love this. The voice actor for Grandmaster in Heaven of Fisher's Blessing did a post 30 minutes ago. His name is Jacob Eisman. He put a post saying, "Can't wait to play games after work." Body, "No, sorry, you're tired, go to bed." Okay, how about before work? Body, "Nope, go back to sleep." Day off. Woohoo, games all day. Body, "You need to recover from work, hit the sack." Will I ever be able to? Body, "That's the funny thing. No." I love that, that's funny. Oh, man. Okay. You home? I'm dreaming. Lol. There we go. Alright. That basically was me when I was working like full time. Like, I was just too tired to do anything. Like, honestly, just be unemployed, then game all you want. That's literally like what I'm trying to do. My ultimate goal is to do streaming on the channel full time. So that's why when I have the time to do streaming, I will try my best to. So unfortunately I can't stream Tuesday afternoons or Thursday afternoons because I have karate. And I don't know what's happening with this other thing that I'm doing. And I don't know when my shifts are for my new job, so until I find that out, then all I can do is Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So yeah, nice frick jobs. But as soon as I get enough money I'm going to upgrade my setup and everything. You definitely have a new PC, because this PC sucks, but it's all I have for now. And obviously get better Wi-Fi, and then just keep on doing what I'm doing, improving every time, constantly putting content out, and see where this journey goes. And if I can get to the point where I can do this full time, then that'll be like my ultimate goal finished, and it will continuously happen because it's going to be one of those things that are continuous. So yeah, I forgot where we was even up to in this bloody book. I'm not gonna lie to you. Where the fuck was I? Why was it so difficult to use? Okay, here we go. It wasn't until a strange noise sounded from his stomach that he realized it had nothing to do with spiritual power. It was simply that this body, not trained for fasting, was hungry. If he delayed seeking food any longer, he might just become the first malicious ghost in history to die of hunger immediately after being summoned. Wei Wuxian took a deep breath and raised his foot, but as soon as he was about to kick the door open, there was suddenly the sound of footfalls on the other side, drawing nearer. Someone gave the door a kick, which was followed by an annoyed call. "Mealtime!" While those were the words, it didn't appear the door was going to open at all. Wei Wuxian looked down just in time to see a small bowl be heavily set down before a small slat at the bottom of the door. While those were the words... Oh, I can't even speak properly because that's not where I was. The servant outside then added, "Hurry up, what's the hold up? Put the bowl out when you're done." The slat was smaller than a dog flap, not large enough to allow people to go in and out, but bowls could be passed through. There were 2 dishes, and 1 bowl of rice that looked awfully disgusting. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. 1 second. Oh good god, I almost didn't make the mute button on that one. Oh god. Alright. Oh no, I've forgotten where I was. No. Wei Wuxian bitterly stirred the chopsticks that were stabbed into the rice. The yearling patriarch had returned to life, only to be kicked down and yelled at. The first meal to welcome him back was a cold leftover. Who would believe him if he told them? What had happened to his bloody reign? His absolute massacres? His unalterated annihilation of the sects? Truly, out of the mountains a tiger can be bullied by a dog. In shallow waters a dragon can be mocked by a shrimp. And a plucked phoenix is lower than a chicken. Stripped of their privileges, the strong will be belittled by the weak. Thank you, Bishosh. Just then, the voice of the servant outside the door was heard once more, but this time it was a laugh that sounded as if it came from a completely different person. "Hey Ding, come over here." A delicate and frail feminine voice answered from a distance. "Hey Tong, did you come to deliver food for that person in there again?" Hey Tong clicked his tongue. "Why else would I come to this miserable courtyard?" Aiding's voice was at the door, much closer now. "You only make deliveries once a day, and no one scolds you even if you slack off every now and then. So why are you frowning at being so free? Look at me, so busy with errands that I can't even go play." Etong complained. It's not like delivering meals is the only thing I do. And you still dare go out right now? There are so many walking corpses roaming about, that every household has their doors firmly shut. Wei Wuxian was crouched down by the door, pushing about the contents of the bowl in his hand with 2 chopsticks of different lengths, listening as he ate. Seemed like things hadn't been peaceful here at the Mo estate. Walking corpses, as per their name, were the walking dead, reanimated corpses that were low level and commonplace. Their eyes were usually glazed, their movements sluggish, and were fairly harmless, unless that was enough to terrify average folks, and their putrid smell alone was enough to make one fill a pot with puke. However, to Wei Wuxian, they were the easiest to manipulate and the most obedient of puppets. In fact, it even felt somewhat endearing so suddenly hear about them. Atong appeared to have winked. You have to take me along if you want to go out, so I can protect you. Aiding cut him off dismissively. You? Protect me? Please, can you actually fight those creatures off? If I can't fight them off, then no one can, Atong grumbled. Aiding laughed. How do you know if other people can't fight them off? Let me tell you, delegates from a cultivation sect have already arrived at our Mo estate today. I hear they're from an incredibly prominent clan. The madam is receiving them in the main hall right this minute. Everyone in town has gathered to watch. They're all so curious. You hear that noise? They might order me around again in a bit, and I don't have time to play with you. Wei Wuxian listened intently. Sure enough, there was the faint sound of commotion. After a moment's contemplation, he got up and kicked the bar, locking the door, which broke with a crack. The 2 servants, flirting with each other, screamed in surprise when the door was suddenly flung open. Wei Wuxian tossed the bowl and chopsticks aside as he stalked out, but the sunlight blinded him. The glare also caused a small pinched pain on his skin, so he raised his hand to his brows and closed his eyes for a moment. Atong had screamed louder than Aiding a moment ago, but when he looked closer, he realized it was the lunatic everyone could bully. His courage returned. Feeling he must regain the dignity he'd just lost, he jumped over and waved, shooing Wei Wuxian like a dog, like one would a dog. He yelled, "Get out of here! Shoo! Go back in! What are you doing outside?" Not even beggars or flies could have received more unsightly treatment. This was probably how the servants had treated Mo Sanyu in the past, and they grew even more impertinent when he didn't retaliate. Wei Wuxian gave Atong a light kick, sending him tumbling and laughing. "Who are you trying to humiliate, huh?" With that, he headed east, following the noise. Both the east hall and the east courtyard were crowded with people, and just as Wei Wuxian stepped into the yard, he heard a woman whose voice rose louder than the others. "We have a junior at home who had also had an infinity for cultivation once. That must have been Madame Mo, who was trying to build connections with cultivation clans again." Wei Wuxian didn't bother waiting for her to finish before he languidly squeezed through the crowd. Nearing the main hall, he waved enthusiastically. Here, over here!" In the main seat of the hall sat a middle-aged woman, well maintained and sumptuously dressed. This was Madame Mo. The one sitting below was her husband, who had married into the family, and across from him were several white-clad youths with swords on their backs. I love these two. Ugh. These two youth boys are known as Lan Jingyi and Lan Sijui. We will learn who Lan Sijui is in the future, so I'm not going to spoil it, because obviously this is novel 1, so yeah. When a dishevelled, unkempt weirdo suddenly emerges from the crowd, conversation became to an abrupt stop. However, Wei Wuxian seemed to take notice of the frozen atmosphere. He said unabashedly, "Who called me just now? The one with affinity for cultivation? Isn't that me?" There was too much powder on his face, and it cracked when he smiled, flaking as it fluttered off. One of the white-clad youths snorted, almost laughing aloud. That's totally Lan Jingyi. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, he's funny as fuck. Okay, but he restrained himself when another youth, who appeared to be the leader of the bunch, shot him a disapproving look. Wei Wuxian snuck a glimpse at them and was somewhat taken aback. At first he had thought an incredibly prominent clan was but the exaggerated praise of an unlearned servant. But the people here really were cultivation disciples worth their name. Who would have thought? We love Lan. Wait, I can't see that message. What? We love Lan. We hate. Yeah, exactly. We love the Lan clan. We hate Jin Gong Yao. We hate Jin Gong Yao. Oh shite, I am pressing the wrong buttons. Go over there. Okay. There we go. I forgot where I was again. Here we go. Graceful sleeved and light airily sashed, these youths were exceptionally pleasing to the eyes, transcendent and poised. Judging by their uniforms alone, it was obvious they came from the Lan clan of Gosu. They were disciples with blood ties to the Lan family as well. Lan family as well. Since every single one of them had a 2 centimeter wide white ribbon patterned with rolling clouds tied around their foreheads. Okay, let's talk about the forehead ribbon. I don't know if you can tell in the picture on the screen, but Lan Wangji, the one in white and blue on the screen, he has a forehead ribbon, a white forehead ribbon on his forehead. That does actually mean something in this cultivation world. Wei Wuxian doesn't know it, but he will know it, and he will be shocked about it, because we're going to find out a lot about what he does to that ribbon, and what Lan Wangji does with that ribbon, with Wei Wuxian, so yeah, it does actually mean something. So, yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Elegance and righteousness was the motto of the Lan clan of Gosu, and this forehead ribbon symbolized self-restraint. The rolling clouds were the Lan family's insignia, and guest cultivators, or sect disciples of outside families affiliated with the prominent clan, were only allowed to wear ribbons without the pattern. Wei Wuxian always cringed every time he spotted someone from the Lan family. He'd often complained under his breath to his in his previous life that their uniforms looked like funeral clothes, so he knew he wasn't mistaken now. It had been a long time since Madame Mo had seen his nephew of hers, and it took a while before she was able to recover from her shock. After realizing who this heavily powdered person was, she was furious. But she couldn't lose her composure, so she hissed at her husband. "Who let him out? Get him out of here." Her husband responded with an apologetic smile and got up with a glum look, ready to seize Wei Wuxian. All of a sudden, Wei Wuxian dropped down without warning and lashed firmly onto the ground. Immovable, no matter how he was pulled or dragged, not even the servants who were called in to help could do anything. If not for the outsiders who were present, they wouldn't have started to kick him already. They would have started to kick him already. Are the ribbons used like handcuffs? Well, there's I cannot confirm or deny any of what you just said, Bashesh. Oh, I forgot to continue with my model earlier. Fuck. I think after stream I need to do some more GFX and sort out the model. Oh god. Okay. Madame Mo's face was growing darker and darker, and the husband was drenched in sweat as well. He yelled, "You damn lunatic! If you don't go back right now, be careful or I'll put you in your place." Although everyone from the Mo estate knew there was a young master in the Mo family who had gone mad, Mo Shanyu had withdrawn into that gloomy house of his for many years, afraid to see anyone. Now that they saw how both his appearance and his actions resembled those of a raging monster, they started to whisper among themselves, excited to watch this spectacle unfold. Wei Wuxian spoke up. "I can't go back if you want. I can go back if you want." He pointed at Mo Ziyuan. "But you have to make him return everything he stole from me first." Mo Ziyuan never thought this lunatic would have the gall. He taught the guy a lesson just a day ago, and only to have him turn around and expose him here today. His face changed colours as he exclaimed, "You're lying! Since when have I stolen anything of yours? Why would I need to steal anything of your stuff? Any of your stuff?" Right, okay. You didn't, Wei Wuxian agreed. "You didn't steal, you snatched." Madame Mo could now tell that Mo Shanyu had obviously come prepared. His mind was perfectly clear, and he was bent on humiliating them. Shocked and livid, she accused him sharply. "You fully intend to wreak havoc here today, isn't that right?" Wei Wuxian looked confused. "He stole my stuff. Snatched it from me, even. Is asking for it all back considered wreaking havoc?" Mo Ziyuan grew agitated and raised his leg to kick Wei Wuxian before Madame Mo could answer. However, one of the sword-carrying, white-clad youths moved his fingers slightly, and Mo Ziyuan immediately lost his balance. The kick bruised past Wei Wuxian, missing the mark, and the boy tripped over himself. However, Wei Wuxian still tumbled and rolled as if he really had been kicked. He even ripped open his robes, revealing on his chest the footprint left behind by Mo Ziyuan's kicks the day before. The villagers of the Mo estate were enjoying the show immensely. Excitement filled the crowd. There was no way Mo Senyu could have kicked himself to create that footprint, and no matter what, he was still a member of the Mo family. What a vicious household. The boy hadn't been this crazy when he first returned, so it was probably the family's doing. Either way, it wasn't like they were the ones being beaten, so as long as there was a show to watch, all the better. This spectacle was truly more interesting than the arrival of the cultivators. Did he really need to disrobe? I think it was just to show that he was telling the truth and to humiliate him. So when he fell over, he wanted everyone to know what he had done to him by showing proof that he'd been kicked. I mean, that's how I see it anyway. I don't know if that's actually the truth, but yeah. Tabbed? Lol. I forgot where I was at. Here we go. With so many eyes watching, the youth couldn't be beaten and he couldn't be kicked out. Madame Mo had no choice but to forcibly smooth the whole debacle over the fury thick in her throat. She said impassively, "What? Steal? What? Snatch? Such ugly accusations. We are family. It's nothing but borrowing. Aiwan is your younger brother. So what if he takes a few things of yours?" Aiwan? Oh god. Well, we'll understand Aiwan a little bit better in the future as well. So what if he takes a few things of yours? As an elder brother, will you be this stingy? Throwing a childish tantrum and embarrassing everyone over such a small matter? It's not like he wasn't going to return your things. The white-clad youths stared at each other in dismay, and one of them almost choked on his tea. Lan Jingyi would have done that. The disciples who grew up with the Lan clan of Gosu were raised in refined elegance, so they had probably never encountered such a farce, nor heard such brilliance. Today's events were probably widening their horizons. Cousins are still referred to as brothers or sisters in familial address. How far away from the next chapter? Surely we've got to be getting close now. I think we got a pretty long way to go, to be fair, because it was quite a thick section. Okay, yeah, we got quite a big section. What page are we on right now? We're on 30, and this chapter ends at 58, so we got quite a bit. I'll get as far as I can, because if I can't get to chapter 3, then we'll just continue in another part. Wei Wuxian laughed maniacally in his mind and extended his hand. Give them back then. Of course, Mo Ziyuan couldn't return anything. All the items were long since tossed out or torn apart, and even if he could have returned them, he wouldn't have done so willingly. Red in the face, he cried out to protest. Mom! Fucking mama's boy. Thick fiction should be the name of your reading series. Shut the fuck up. Them boys be I wish it is. He eyed her with a scowl. Are you going to let him insult me like this? Madame Mo glowered back at him, signalling him not to make this scene any worse than it was. Unexpectedly, Wei Wuxian spoke up again. While we're on the topic, not only should he not have stolen my stuff, he shouldn't have done so in the middle of the night. Everyone knows I like men. Of course you do. No, he doesn't like men. He likes Lan Wangji. Oh god. Even if he has no shame, I know not to make myself suspicious. Madame Mo drew in a sharp breath and yelled, What are you spewing in front of the village folks? How shameless. Aiwan is your little cousin. Oh no, that's incest. Well, half incest, I think, because wait, is he his half brother? I can't even remember. They're cousins. Well, it's his brother, but they're known as cousins. So, yeah, it's his brother because her sister was Mo Yu's mother. So, oh god, that would be incest. Holy shit. Because they're brothers. They actually are brothers. Oh god. No, they're not brothers. They're cousins. I'm so fucking confused. So, Madame Mo, her sister, was the mother of Mo Yu. So they are cousins. But they are known as brothers in this fucking thing. It's so fucking weird. It's fine. They probably live in Chinese Alabama. Oh no, okay. Fucking hell. When it came to outrageous behavior, Wei Wuxian was an expert. In the past, he'd had to maintain some form of decorum. Decorum. I swear. Vishesh, didn't you make me say a certain line which included the word decorum? I think that was in the very first stream that you came into. I don't remember what you told me to say. Can you remember what you said for me to say? It was definitely a Fortnite stream. You said something. Oh, wait, I need to find that now. That's going to annoy me. I completely forgot what you said. It was like the very first stream that you came into. Oldest. It was a Fortnite stream when I was... Oh, there we go. Yeah, you put it in the chat. It would behoove you to conduct yourself with a modicum of decorum. Oh my god, it has been a while since you said that. Holy shit. Holy crap. It's definitely been a while. When did I do that? I don't even remember what video that was. I don't think it was that one. That was like the OG. I think it was this one, but at the same time, I don't think it was because it was a different thing. I think it was that one or this one, Plane Tycoons. I think it was this one, yeah. So that was 4 months ago. Holy crap. Second stream I came. Oh, it was the second? With the forest, you were muted, lol. Was I muted the entire time on the forest? Oh, now I remember. Because you came into the stream and said, I think you're muted, and I was like, oh shit. Oh no. Holy crap. I've only just noticed that. And then since then, you've just been in my streams all the time. That's insane. That's crap. That's crazy. I told you you were muted, then you unmuted. Oh, yeah. Holy crap, that was a while back now. Holy crap. Wait, how long have I been on this channel for? Oh god. Come on, channel. Oldest. I've been on this channel for 5 months already. It's almost been half a year since I started this channel. This is crazy. It's been an interesting journey. A lot of laughs, I can definitely say for a fact. Holy crap. Was saying you were a friend hater. I don't remember that. Oh my gosh. Forgot where we was at. When it came to outrageous behaviour, Wei Wuxian was an expert. In the past, he'd had to maintain some form of decorum, so people couldn't accuse him of having a poor upbringing. But now he was a lunatic anyway, so what did he care for shame? He could go wild and cut loose to his heart's content. He stiffened his neck and said outright, he knew he was my little cousin, but he still didn't observe propriety and keep his distance. So, who is the more shameless one here? I don't care if you don't care about your reputation, but I still care about mine. I still gotta find a good man. Mosey Yuan roared, raising a chair to hurl it at Wei Wuxian's way, seeing that he'd finally snapped. Wei Wuxian quickly scrambled up to the hide. We need to do a Wei Ming lore revision stream. I'll probably do that on my my new debut when I finally sort out my new model. A lot of lols, yeah. I'm just gonna quickly pop to the loo and have a drink of water so that my throat doesn't kill me. Ah, 1 second, Liam, don't. I'll be back shortly, guys, lol. But yeah, if you guys need to do anything, then by all means do so, and I'll be back shortly.
Okay. I'm back. I will probably end the stream soon because I am getting pretty hungry. But for now, we'll keep going. Okay. Okay. Seeing that he'd finally snapped, Wei Wuxian quickly scrambled up to go hide. That chair broke into pieces upon impact with the ground. The spectators, crowding in and out of the East Hall, were waiting with unconcealed delight to watch the Mo family be disgraced, but they all quickly dispersed once things got violent, afraid they might be injured. Wei Wuxian docked towards the youths from the Lan family, who were completely dumbfounded by what was unfolding, crying as he did so. You see? He's hitting me even though he stole my stuff. How heartless." Mo Ziyuan chased him over, ready to lunge, but the leader of the youths stopped him. "This Gonze, we can talk this out." Seeing that the youth intended to protect the lunatic, Madame Mo grew apprehensive. She forced a smile. "This young man is my younger sister's son. He's a little unstable here. Everyone at the Mo estate knows he's crazy. He's always saying strange things. You don't take him seriously. Esteemed cultivators, you mustn't." Before she could finish, Wei Wuxian poked his head out from behind the youth. "Who said I can't be taken seriously? From now on, if anyone tries to steal my stuff, I'm gonna chop off an arm for every time they do. Just try me." Mo Ziyuan was being held back by his father at first, but when he heard this, his anger flared up again. Wei Wuxian darted out the door like a fish, taunting him with a la 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 as he went. The youth quickly blocked the door right after and changed the topic, assuming a serious face to talk business. Then we will be borrowing your esteemed West Courtyard for tonight. Please remember exactly what I said earlier. Lock all doors and shut all windows tight after dusk. Do not come out for any activities, especially not near the West Courtyard." Madame Mo was shaking with rage, but it wouldn't have been courteous to push the youth aside, despite him blocking her, so she could only reply, yes, thank you. Mo Ziyuan was in a state of disbelief. "Mom? Are you going to let that lunatic get away with slandering me in public? Didn't you say yourself that he was only a mere—" "Shut your mouth." Heyo. Madame Mo cut him off sharply. "Can you not wait until we're back inside?" Mo Ziyuan had never suffered such a wrong before, nor had he ever been humiliated this way. He had never been scolded by his mother like this. He cried furiously, "That lunatic is dead!" After Wei Wuxian was done letting loose, he went out the main entrance of the manor and strolled around the Mo estate to show his face, scaring innumerous passerby and enjoying himself while he was at it. He began to understand the joy of being a madman and was even starting to be pleased with the hanged ghost makeup, not wanting to wash it off. It's not like there's water around anywhere, so I'll let it be. He fixed his hair and glanced at his wrist. There was no indication of the cuts were fading or healing at all, which meant the trifling revenge of venting anger on Mo Xianyu's behalf was far from enough. Did he really have to slaughter the entire Mo family? To be honest, there wouldn't have been anything difficult to do. Wei Wuxian pondered this as he sauntered back to the Mo manor. As he snuck past the West Courtyard with small quick steps,
He noticed the land disciples on top of the rooftops and wall eaves, gathered in somber discussion. He snuck back again with those small quick steps and looked up, watching them intently. While the Lan clan of Gosu was a major part of the coalition that had come to besiege him in the past, those juniors had yet been born at the time. What? I don't even remember what I just said. The juniors hadn't yet been born at the time, or if they did, would have been only a few years old. So that event had nothing to do with them. Wei Wuxian stood there and observed, wanted to see how they planned on handling the situation. As he looked on, he suddenly felt something amiss. Why did those black flags being flown on the rooftops and wall eaves look so familiar? The flag was called a spirit attraction flag. It was struck on the living person, then it would attract every dark spirit, every vengeful ghost, every fierce corpse, and all such manner of evil to attack said person. Since wearing a flag was akin to becoming a live target, the flag was also called a target flag. It could also be stuck on buildings, but said building had to have living persons within, and the range of the target would increase to include all people within the building. Since yin energy swirled around the area where these flags were planted like a black whirlwind, they were also known as black wind flags. Those youths were setting up the flag formation and had told others not to go near. So they had to intend to lure the walking corpses here to capture them all at once. As for why the flags looked familiar, how could they not? The creator of the spirit attraction flag was this very Yiling patriarch. It appeared that, despite how the cultivation world had demanded Wei Wuxian's demise, they nevertheless had no qualms about making use of his inventions. One of the disciples of the rooftops noticed him watching and chided him. "Go back, this is not a place you should be." Though he was being ordered to shoo, it was done with good intentions, and the tone of voice employed was also greatly different. Good, shut your mouth. From that of those Mo servants. Okay. So basically, Wei Wuxian, as the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, he created various different tools and inventions to help cast stuff, and one of them was these flags things. It basically allows the person doing the formation for these flags to lure bad spirits and ghosts and undead towards it. So it's basically a trap set so that they can get rid of all evil and stuff like that nearby. But you will soon know that it doesn't go well. I mean, it works. It definitely works intendedly, because Wei Wuxian created it, he knows that the formation is correct and everything. But it doesn't end very well, so yeah. I don't think my fucking thing is working. I need to refresh my page. Oh, go away. I don't care about your stuff. And my thing has crashed. Got to love it. I don't know if this is working. Got to love it when my PC doesn't like to work.
I really do hate my PC. I love it and hate it at the same time. It's like a love-hate relationship. There we go. Now chat is there, because for some reason chat was not updating on my PC. It was updating on OBS, but it wasn't doing it on the actual page for me, so I just refreshed it. Okay, here we go. While the youth was off his guard, Wei Wuxian hopped up and plucked a flag. Greatly alarmed, that disciple jumped down the wall to chase after him. "Don't touch that, it's not for you!" Wei Wuxian hollered as he ran, looking completely like a lunatic. His hair flying loose and disheveled, arms waving and legs skipping. "Finders keepers, I want this, mine!" That disciple quickly caught up with him and grabbed his arm. "Give it back or else I'll hit you!" Wei Wuxian clutched the flag tightly, refusing to let go. The leader of the group that was setting up the flag formation was altered by the commotion and also came fluttering down from the eaves. "Jing Yi, let it go. Retrieve the flag nicely. There is no need to start a dispute." "Sijui, I didn't hit him for real," Lan Jingyi complained. "Look at him, he's messed up the flag formation." During their push and pull, Wei Wuxian had swiftly finished inspecting the spirit attraction flag. The drawn patterns were correct, and none of the spells were missing either. There were no mistakes, so perhaps would occur if the flags were used. The only issue was that the person who'd drawn the flag was not very experienced, so the spell was only attract any evil and walking corpses within a 2.5 kilometer radius at most. But that would be enough. Lan Sijui turned to him with a smile. "Mo Gonzi, it is getting late and we will be starting to catch walking corpses here soon. It is dangerous at night. You'd best hurry back in your chambers." Wei Wuxian sized up this youth. The boy was gentle in disposition, refined and elegant, noble in his bearing, with a light grin curving the corners of his lips. This was a good sprout, very worthy of the encouragement, and Wei Wuxian mentally gave him a nod of approval. Oh, Sijui is the best boy. We will learn more things about Sijui in the future of the novels, but man, we respect, we love, we cherish Sijui. So, we love Wei Wuxian, Lan Wangji. We hate Jin Gongyao, and we cherish Sijui. And obviously, we'll learn about other characters soon, but I won't actually, more like PC is the one who abuses. Abusive relationship towards my PC. The PC is the one being abused. To be fair, it's how long has it been now? It's 5 years since I had this PC. The only thing I upgraded on this PC was the RAM sticks, because I only had 8 gig RAM when I first had it, and now it's got 16 gig RAM. So, other than upgrading the RAM on this PC, everything is literally the same as it was 5 years ago. Sijui, cherish, love equals Lan, hate equals Gong. Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's how it's gonna go with this novel series. Sijui is our best boy, we cherish him, we love him, and we love the Lan clan. We'll meet Lan Wangji's brother at some point. He's known as... I forgot his name now. What the hell? Lan... Is that Wangji? Lantern... Oh my god, what is his name? They are the twin Jades of Gosu, because they are twins. Lan Wangji and his brother are twins. I forgot his name! Oh my god, this is gonna bug me now. What is his name? Lan Wangji and...
Oh, Lan Xichen! Oh my god, how did I not realise that? His name is Lan Xichen. What the hell? I can't believe I've forgotten that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am obsessed with Model Zushi and Heaven Official's Blessing, and I can't believe I just didn't remember his name. What the hell? Chinese names hard? Well, when you see the names as often as you do in Model Zushi, you learn them quite quickly. Like, there's names like, well, in Heaven Official's Blessing anyway, there's like Shilian, Hua Chang, there's Junwoo, there's Muqing, Nanfang, Xiqing Xuan, there's Qirong, Lan Qianzhou, there's some other ones as well. There's Ling Wen. I forgot some of the other ones now, but those are some of the names in Heaven Official's Blessing. But in Moda Zushi, I only know the names of like the main characters in the sects. Everyone else, I just completely forgot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the different clans are the Lan clan, the Zhang clan, the Jin clan, and the Ni clan, if I'm correct in saying. So those are the main 4 clans. So in the Lan clan, there is Lan Chan, there's Lan Xichen, there's Lan Sidui and Lan Jingyi, as well as Lan Qiren, which we'll see in the future as well, and we'll understand who he is. And then the Zhang clan, which is Zhang Cheng, Zhang Fangmian, Zhang Furen, I think, and Zhang Yanli. The Jin clan, I forgot this guy's name, Jin Zijuan or something, I forgot what his name is. There's Jin Ling, which we'll find out soon. There's Jin Gong Yao, Jin Gong Yao's father, I forgot what his name is, Shu something. And then the Ni clan, there's Ni Huasong, Ni Mingzhe. I forgot about the other ones. Oh, there's also the Wen clan as well. There's Wen Ning, Wen Qing, I forgot what this fucking cunt's name was. Wen something. Yeah. I forgot what the other ones are, but yeah, there's a lot of Chinese names. But, like, the longer you, like, listen, and the longer they are in the story for, the easier it is to understand who's who. Then a Greek epic. Lol, that's funny. How many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's, well, technically there's 11. There's 11 pages until the new chapter, but what I'll do is I'll finish off these 2 pages first, so that we finish on the 36th page, and then in the next stream I'll continue chapter 3 and then going on to chapter 4 and stuff like that. Where was I? Oh, I'll just finish this page. I think it was only on one of these pages. The child had set up the flag formation in a proper and orderly manner, and his upbringing really was quite commendable as well. Wei Wuxian wondered who among that terrifying group full of upright sticks in the mud known as the Lan Clan had managed to raise such a junior. You will soon learn, Wei Wuxian, who managed to raise this child. This cough cough child that you will soon know more about. Lan Sidgwick added, "This flag." Before he could finish, Wei Wuxian tossed the spirit attraction flag onto the ground and humphed. "What's so good about this crappy flag? I can draw better." He then took off right after. The juniors who were on the rooftop watching the show burst out laughing at his shameless declaration, so righteously that they almost fell off the roof. Lan Jingyi also laughed in expiration, then picked up the flag on the ground, dusting it off. "What a lunatic." "Don't say that," Lan Sidgwick chid him. "Let's go back and help now." As for Wei Wuxian, he wandered idly about for a while. It wasn't until after dark that he returned to Mo Shan-yu's little courtyard. The door latch was snapped, without anyone to clean up the mess. He ignored it and picked a somewhat clean spot in the room before sitting down and continuing to meditate. Yet unexpectedly, it hadn't reached the morning hours when a noisy commotion outside pulled him out of his meditative state. A clamour of footsteps mixed with wailing and screaming was rapidly approaching, and Wei Wuxian heard these cries repeated. "Break in and drag him out! Report him to the authorities! Who cares about the authorities? Just beat him to death!" And that is now the next page. I'm gonna put my bookmark in. And that is where we are going to stop off at. Where do I put the book? I'm gonna put the book over here. There we go. Okay. Well, that was the first novel. Can I actually... media source. I don't know if this is too high or too low, so please let me know if it is too high or too low. Good read. Well, I'm hoping that everyone does enjoy the Mr. Egg. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the read. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I hope everyone does like the idea of me reading the novels. Because tiny bit high? Okay. Let me... Okay, I've turned it down slightly. Not too much. I think it's fine. Awesome. But yeah, there are like 5 books. So we're going towards chapter 3. So hopefully in the next stream of me reading the novel, sweet. In the next stream we'll be able to establish what will happen to the Mo estate. Better. Awesome, sweet, thank you guys. What happens with Wei Wuxian? We're gonna meet Lan Wenzhou for the first time, and so is Wei Wuxian. And a lot of things are gonna happen, so I'm hoping to read as much as possible in the next stream because I'm really intrigued. with how it's going to plan out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I appreciate you stopping by, guys. And what day is it today? It is, I don't even remember what day is it today. It is Friday, so tomorrow I will be able to stream. So tomorrow I'll either continue doing this or I'll play some Honkai Star Rail, because at the moment I'm obsessed with Honkai Star Rail, as you guys know from my streams recently. But I think I'm gonna leave it there for today's stream and just continue on doing the stream tomorrow and go from there. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Looking forward to it. I hope I can catch the stream. Well, thank you for catching the ending of this stream. I appreciate you, mister. Laid away an egg. Have a fun Friday. You too, Vishesh. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I'm gonna have some food, chill out for the rest of the night, and I will catch you guys in tomorrow's stream. So until then, see you later, guys.